Hey, it's Wookie from Mandala Studios. Welcome to the workshop. Today we're doing our Valentine's special, how we made some foam roses.
I'm going to start with patterning and cutting the petals. For this we think we needed about 5-6 sets of petals. Bill Wookie says that he did this by working out that they had 3 in the middle and 6 or 7 at the outside, so going for about 5 because it was roughly in the middle.
You say worked out, I saw a picture on the internet. So we just trace around a vague circular shape, split it into 5 and get a vague sort of petal shape on the outside edge of it. Then once we've got that roughed out, we'll cut it out and transfer it onto the foam.
We spent a day earlier in the month making these in the workshop, and we had lots and lots of videos of making petals on in the background, making roses on in the background. There we go, that's the outside shape, so that's your largest set.
We do a couple of that size, then we just take the paper pattern and we just get a vague idea of trim it down about 1 centimetre off the edge, cut it out again.
And make it a bit smaller. See the bits falling off there. So this is, what thickness foam is it?
3mm.
So we made this one out of 3mm. We had the white one out of thinner foam.
That was just some random scrap, it was about 1.5.
Yeah.
Again, going into this middle one, it's a bit smaller still, and we've rounded out the petals to make a smoother shape, because that's apparently what roses look like. Then we cut out the sheet of foam using a pair of scissors, and then just make sure we trim inside the line in this circumstance, because we've drawn on the foam with a pen.
Some of the later ones we didn't draw on the foam with a pen, so we didn't have to cut inside the lines. We had a paper template on the top. It was quite hard to say.
Here we are going on to one of the bigger ones. I just roughed out the size with a bin lid. Then on the top layer I drew out my vague idea and cut out everything roughly so that I've got a starting place to work from. Then all I'm going to do is just cut through the whole stack of foam with a sharp knife. First of all, rounding the petals out into vague individual petal shapes, and then making the top edge of each one a bit more random looking. Then once we've got all of those petals randomly cut to the top edge, we split off a few pieces
And cut down the next set.
then just cut down the next set. There's no real need for these to be even close to the same, so just cutting through like this is absolutely fine. So for this one we needed to make the petals, I say needed, we wanted to make the petals a bit more interesting than just the red foam that we'd done on the first one we did. So we just randomly sprayed along the edge of each petal with a can of spray paint we had lying around. It's important to note at this point you're seeing the results of multiple different things in random orders to show you different things we did. So if it doesn't make much sense, that's why. So here we're just heating the foam over a bowl, trimming the inside to get it to the point, and then just going to, the middle sections we just roll up quite tight with a little T of glue to the bottom half of the petal and push them together into a little bundle.
We were working around the petals in sort of going to every other one in a direction, because that seemed to give us the best effect. And here we're taping this one up, because with this one it got to the point where actually we're just putting a bit of tape around the base of the bundle of petals because it gave us a nicer shape.
It's because this foam was stiffer than the other ones we've been using.
I think this was more scrap foam, wasn't it? So it had a side that wasn't gluing particularly well.
Yeah. So if you see there, the first set of petals we did, it was just bundled up tightly. Then these next set are kind of bundled up tightly and then given a quick scrunch to give them a bit more body and texture. And then the last set that go around the outside are just scrunched sort of randomly.
gun.
And just give it a
Roll.
scrunch.
And then heat it again and scrunch.
We just continue going round the petals, alternating like Leah says, just gluing the bottom half of them down to each one that went before it, building up some volume as we go. See there, we're just trimming the top edge of the petals to keep everything lined up, looking like how we want it.
I had to move to a larger bowl for the bigger ones, but these are the ones where we just scrunch. By this point, the rolling comes automatically, so we don't need to apply that ourselves. This, I think, was a very cold day in the workshop, and I had lovely warm hands doing this.
Onto the last one now again, just soften the shape over a bowl to allow it to contour into the direction of the overall shape of the rose, then scrunch it up, open it out, and then just start to glue it around the rest of the petals. You'll note we glue slightly less of each petal down as we do following rows, so that it can open out further as we go. And you'll see in a minute, we just touch it with a heat gun as well. Oh, you don't.
So this is one of the other roses we did. This is one of our earlier ones, but we decided with this one that it would have a little stem. I think does it get a leaf as well?
No.
No, just a stem. So this is just a piece of foam.
So that's foam back rod, then we're just cutting a little bit of scrap green foam down to make it thinner. And then we're just going to use that as a transition between the backer rod and the flower head. You could see just at the start of that one, what I was about to say before, is where we just touch it with a heat gun and then just artfully arrange the petals to get the look we want.
Just open them out gently at the edges and make them look delicate.
And this is the big rose, and we're just making another transition piece on the back, so it looked a bit like it needed something. So we got some green foam we had lying around, cut out some petal shapes, then we just quickly put a quick bevel down the middle of each, a slight twisty line, making sure we don't cut all the way through the foam. Then we just chamfer the edges, so they all look a bit more thin and natural, because this foam is very thin. So hard edges of the 6mm green foam would be very odd. Then we heat everything up, give it a quick scrunch, and they'll fold nicely around that bevel we cut in, just to create an organic shape. And we just go and glue those all onto the surface at the back of the rose.
There we go.
Then I just added another piece in the middle to hold them all together. Then we just quickly grabbed kind of pinks and red spray paints and just lightly dusted over the whole thing. That's it. Thanks very much for watching. See you again next time.